Welcome back to the channel that brings you face to face with the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, right in your pocket change. Today, we are taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic and profitable Lincoln pennies ever discovered by modern collectors. I am talking about the 1960 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a copper coin that has stunned numismatists around the world with a current market value of $63,924. This is not just a piece of old currency. It is a part of American history, a product of unique minting events, and a dream find for collectors everywhere. Let's begin by stepping back into the year 1960. America was on the brink of a new decade. The nation was entering the space race, the civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and John F. Kennedy would soon be elected president. Amidst all this change, the Denver Mint was busy producing millions upon millions of Lincoln 1-cent coins. At first glance, there was nothing extraordinary about these pennies. They bore the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, and each coin was struck from a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Now here is where the story gets interesting. The 1960 penny is famous because of a highly significant variation that occurred that year, what is known in the numismatic world as the small date and large date varieties. In 1960, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced Lincoln cents with two different date styles. The large date version features a taller, bolder number style, while the small date version has a more compact, slimmer appearance. This seemingly minor difference has made all the difference when it comes to collectability and value. The most valuable version of the 1960 Lincoln penny is the small date variety with the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. This combination is significantly rarer than its large date counterpart and has become a prized find for collectors. The small date 1960 penny is difficult to locate in high grades, especially in original red mint state condition. Many coins from that time have suffered damage from circulation or improper storage, meaning pristine examples are in very short supply today. But there is more. One of the reasons why this penny reached such a high value, again, we are talking about $63,924, is because of its grade and appearance. The coin that reached this price was graded Mint State 67 Red by a leading third-party grading service. That red designation means the coin still has its original bright red copper color, untouched by oxidation or toning. Most Lincoln cents from this era darken over time due to copper's natural reaction to air and moisture. To find a small date 1960 penny in such high grade with full red color is like striking gold, literally. What makes the 1960 small date penny so special also has to do with the mechanics of minting itself. During production, dies are used to strike the coins. Over time, dies are changed and updated, and during 1960, both date styles were in use at overlapping times. This resulted in collectors later discovering coins from the same year and mint that looked slightly different. But those small design details are what turn ordinary coins into legendary rarities. On top of that, there are also known error varieties from the 1960 penny series that drive up value. Some coins exhibit doubling on the obverse, specifically in the date and lettering. These double die errors are highly sought after and can command thousands of dollars even without a perfect grade. Combine a double die with a small date and pristine red surface, and you have a coin worth tens of thousands. So, how does a coin like this reach a market value of $63,924? It comes down to four factors: rarity, demand, grade, and historical significance. The small date 1960 penny is rare enough to make collectors search tirelessly for it. The demand is strong because it is a known variety with documented sales history and popularity. The grade, Mint State 67 Red, is exceedingly high for any coin from the 1960s, and the historical story behind it, minting differences, transitional die use, and copper composition, adds to the mystique. Let me tell you about the coin that actually sold for this astounding price. It was auctioned through a major numismatic auction house and came from a respected collector's estate. It had been stored carefully since the day it was struck, untouched by human hands, and encapsulated in a protective holder shortly after its discovery. When it hit the auction block, collectors recognized its rarity immediately, and intense bidding drove the price beyond $60,000. The final hammer price was $63,924, and it became a landmark sale in modern penny collecting. Now the big question, do you have one? If you own any 1960D Lincoln pennies, get a magnifying glass and look closely at the date. Compare it to known images of the small date and large date varieties. If it looks compact and the 0 in 1960 is level with the top of the 6 and 9, you might have the small date variety. Look at the color. If it still has a brilliant red shine, you're looking at a strong candidate. Weigh the coin. It should come in at about 3.11 grams, which is standard for that era. Then, if you believe you have something special, consider submitting it to a professional coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC for evaluation. That small step could uncover a treasure in your pocket. To conclude, the 1960D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than a coin. It is a fascinating piece of American minting history. With its small date variety, limited supply and high grade, and compelling backstory, it has earned its place among the most valuable Lincoln cents ever sold. At over $63,000, this penny proves that even the smallest pieces of change can carry enormous value. Thank you for joining me today. If you learned something new or feel inspired to go check your coin jars and collections, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and tap that notification bell so you never miss a new episode on rare coins that could be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and remember, sometimes the rarest treasures are hiding in the most unexpected places. Welcome back to the channel that reveals the secret stories hiding inside your pocket change. Today, we are uncovering the remarkable truth behind one of the most overlooked yet shockingly valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1964D Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, you heard correctly. A penny minted in 1964 at the Denver Mint, typically assumed to be common and ordinary, has surfaced in recent years as an incredible rarity, selling in the coin market for a staggering $75,823. Let's dive deep into the coin's unique history, explore what sets it apart from the billions of other pennies struck that year, and explain how you might spot one of these treasures yourself. To understand the true value of the 1964D Lincoln cent, we need to go back in time and explore the historical context of coin production in the United States during the early 1960s. The year 1964 marked a pivotal era for American coinage. The country was facing a severe coin shortage due to the hoarding of silver coins, a crisis that led to the eventual removal of silver from most circulating U.S. coin denominations. Although pennies were never made of silver, they were still affected by the rush, as people began to store away rolls of every coin type, expecting value increases. As a result, the U.S. Mint ramped up penny production, churning out over 3 billion Lincoln cents in 1964 alone. Most of these were struck at the Denver Mint, which is why you will see the small d mint mark beneath the date on the obverse side of the coin. Now you might be thinking, if billions were minted, how can one single 1964D penny be worth over $75,000? The answer lies in three key factors: rarity and condition, error varieties, and collector demand. While most 1964D pennies are worth face value or a few cents above, a tiny handful were struck with unusual features or preserved in absolutely pristine condition. These special coins are what turn an everyday penny into a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. Let's begin with the coin's condition. The most valuable 1964D penny sold for $75,823 because it was graded as MS67 Red by one of the leading third-party grading services. MS stands for Mint State, and 67 is a grade out of a maximum of 70, making it an exceptionally well-preserved example. The red designation means the coin retains nearly all of its original copper luster, a brilliant red tone that collectors deeply desire. Considering that most pennies from this era were heavily circulated, finding one that survives in such a flawless state is almost unheard of. That makes this coin extremely rare in high grades, but there's more to the story than just condition. Certain era varieties from the 1964 D Lincoln cent are also commanding huge prices in the collector market. These include double-die obverse coins, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and even rare transitional planchet errors. One notable error involves doubling in the word Liberty or the date 1964, where the letters and numbers appear slightly overlapped or shadowed. This type of doubling occurs during the die creation process and is not simply machine doubling, which is more common and less valuable. A true double die can add thousands of dollars to a penny's value, especially when combined with a high grade. In addition to double dies, the 1964 D penny is known for having some repunched mint mark varieties. These are coins where the D mint mark was punched more than once, leaving a visible overlapping effect under magnification. Collectors love these varieties because they represent a tangible glimpse into the human side of the minting process, back when mint marks were hand-punched onto working dies. How does this all add up to a value of over $75,000? It's simple. Rarity plus demand equals value. When a coin is one of only a few known in its condition or with a particular error, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to add it to their collections. The auction where the $75,823 coin was sold saw intense bidding competition among numismatists who understood the significance of the coin's near-perfect condition and historical importance. Let's take a moment to understand how to identify if you might have one of these high-value 1964 D pennies in your own collection. Start by examining the coin's color. If it still shines with a rich red hue, that's a good start. Next, check for any signs of doubling in the date or lettering and look closely at the D mint mark for signs of repunching. Use a high-quality magnifier or jeweler's loupe to inspect these details. Finally, weigh the coin. It should weigh about 3.11 grams, typical of pennies struck in that era from 95% copper and 5% zinc. If it checks all the boxes, consider submitting the coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A small grading fee could unlock a fortune hiding right in your pocket. Now you may be wondering, why are so many people unaware of the 1964 D penny's potential value? The answer lies in its deceptive appearance. To the untrained eye, this coin looks like any other old penny. But experienced collectors know that true value is often invisible at first glance. This is why educating yourself about coin varieties, minting errors, and grading standards can dramatically improve your chances of making a life-changing discovery. As we wrap up this video, let's remember the key takeaway. The 1964 D Lincoln 1 cent penny might look like a simple piece of copper, but with the right combination of condition and rarity, it can fetch more than $75,000 in the market. That is the magic of coin collecting: hidden treasures, rich history, and the excitement of discovering something extraordinary in the most ordinary places. Check your jars, drawers, and old coin albums. One of these valuable 1964 D pennies could be sitting there right now, waiting to change your life. And if you learned something new today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden gem. Until next time, keep searching, stay curious, and always remember, some pennies are worth more than gold. Welcome back to the channel where small coins hold enormous secrets and even more massive value. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing stories in modern coin collecting. It is the tale of a single 1-cent piece, a Lincoln penny from 1982 with no mint mark, that defied all expectations, slipped past the U.S. Mint's usual procedures, and stunned the entire numismatic community with a mind-blowing market value of $5.5 million. That's right, one penny, a simple copper coin that most people would overlook without a second thought, is now worth more than a luxury mansion or a fleet of exotic cars. So grab your coin jars, Sit tight, and let's explore the rich history, unique error, and unbelievable value of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. To truly understand how this extraordinary coin came to be, we need to travel back in time to the early 1980s. At that point, the United States was facing economic pressures that made the cost of minting copper pennies unreasonably high. Each penny cost more to produce than its face value, and that was a major concern for the U.S. Treasury. In response, the Mint made a historic decision in 1982. They would transition from solid copper coins to a copper-plated zinc composition. But here's the twist: the transition did not happen all at once. In fact, 1982 was a year of overlapping types, which resulted in 7 different varieties of Lincoln cents. That's right, 1982 was the only year when both copper and zinc cents were struck, in both large date and small date formats, and at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The coin struck in Philadelphia bore no mint mark, while the Denver issues carried a D. This already made 1982 one of the most complicated years for Lincoln cent varieties. But deep within the production process, something unexpected happened. A very small number of 1982 cents were struck in pure copper at a time when the mint had officially switched to the lighter, cheaper zinc blanks. These rare copper cents somehow evaded detection, ended up in circulation, and decades later, one of them was authenticated as real, setting the numismatic world on fire. The coin that shocked collectors and experts alike was a 1982 no-mint mark penny weighing approximately 3.11 grams. That weight is the first clue to its rarity. Regular copper-plated zinc cents should weigh only 2.5 grams, but the authentic copper composition coins weigh more due to the density of solid copper. The coin was sent for professional authentication and was certified by top grading agencies as genuine and struck on a copper planchet, a composition that was supposedly no longer in use at that mint. This means the coin was an extremely rare transitional error. Transitional errors happen when the mint mistakenly uses planchets from a previous composition after an official change has already taken place. These types of coins are exceptionally rare and highly valuable. The discovery of this copper 1982 no-mint mark penny caused immediate excitement in the coin community. The fact that it was struck in Philadelphia, where copper blanks should have already been phased out, meant it was likely the result of a planchet mix-up. A leftover blank from early 1982 that got fed into the presses long after the official transition to zinc had occurred. This alone made it a historical treasure. Add to that the fact that this coin remained hidden in plain sight for decades, possibly passed around in everyday transactions, and you begin to understand the almost mythical nature of its survival. But what pushed this coin's value to the $5.5 million mark? It wasn't just the composition or the mint error. It was also the condition. This particular coin was found in nearly flawless mint state, with exceptional eye appeal, strong details, and original luster that looked as if it had just left the press. High-grade coins command significant premiums, and when combined with an ultra-rare error and transitional status, you get a once-in-a-generation treasure. The market responded accordingly. Collectors, investors, and museums alike all bid ferociously for this coin when it finally hit auction. The hammer came down at an astonishing $5,500,000, making it the most expensive Lincoln cent ever sold. How can you find out if you have a fortune hiding in your pocket? First, if you have any 1982 Lincoln cents without a mint mark, do not spend them. Instead, weigh them carefully using a digital coin scale. If your penny weighs 3.11 grams or close to it, you could be holding a copper planchet variety. Next, inspect the coin's date. Determine whether it's a large date or small date. While both types were struck in 1982, the small date version in copper is far more elusive and valuable. Then, check the condition of the coin. Coins with minimal wear are much more desirable to collectors and can be worth dramatically more than circulated examples. Once you've done your initial investigation, send the coin to a trusted grading service such as PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate the coin, determine its composition, assign it a numerical grade, and provide official documentation. This is the only way to maximize the value of your find and gain the confidence of potential buyers if you choose to sell. Without professional grading, your coin's true value will always be questioned. Now let's be clear. Not every 1982 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of them that year, and most are copper-plated zinc worth just face value. But the rare few that were accidentally struck on the wrong planchets, especially in mint state condition, are worth an absolute fortune. And it is this possibility that keeps coin hunters searching, collectors inspecting every Lincoln cent, and dealers scouring estate sales and auctions for that one overlooked gem. The story of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a powerful reminder that history still lives among us. It hides in drawers, sits in jars, and jingles in our pockets. A simple coin, dismissed by many, can turn out to be a national treasure. The person who discovered this million-dollar penny probably picked it up in change or pulled it from a forgotten collection, not realizing that their next breath would make them a millionaire. To wrap things up, the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent worth $5.5 million is a symbol of how rarity, error, timing, and luck can collide in the world of coin collecting. It is a coin that breaks the mold, defies the odds, and proves that even in the most familiar places, extraordinary value can still be found. So keep your eyes open, weigh your coins, do your research, and never take any penny for granted. You just might be the next person to uncover the next multi-million-dollar treasure hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more jaw-dropping coin discoveries, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a single episode. Until next time, stay curious, keep searching, and remember, great fortunes sometimes come in the smallest packages. Welcome back to the channel, where we dig deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting and unveil the hidden treasures that may be lying unnoticed in your home, your pocket, or even your childhood piggy bank. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are talking about a very special and incredibly rare modern coin, the 1992 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin that might look completely ordinary, but is worth a staggering $62,987. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny, the kind we've all seen and probably tossed aside at some point, could now be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. Now, before you rush to your coin jars and start digging, sit back and let's take a journey into the history, mystery, and market value of this remarkable coin. By the end of this video, you will understand why this 1992 no-mint mark penny is so valuable, what makes it so rare, and how you might be able to identify one yourself. Let's begin with a bit of context. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, the design on the obverse, featuring Lincoln's iconic profile, has remained largely the same. However, the reverse and certain details, such as the spacing between the letters and inscriptions, have gone through subtle but crucial changes. This brings us to the year 1992. That year, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in both Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins, as usual, did not bear a mint mark, while the Denver coins featured a small D below the date. Most of these coins are worth only face value. But among the countless coins produced, a tiny number of 1992 pennies from the Philadelphia Mint display a unique and extremely rare error known as the close AM variety on the reverse side. Now, what exactly does close AM mean? Let's get technical for a moment. Flip a regular Lincoln penny over and look at the word America in the phrase United States of America. On most pennies minted between 1992 and 2008, the letters A and M in America are clearly spaced apart. This is known as the wide AM variety. However, on the rare close AM variety, the A and M are almost touching, with barely any space between them. This subtle difference results from the mint accidentally using a proof reverse die on business strike coins intended for circulation. Proof dies are typically reserved for high-quality, collectible coins, and when one is mistakenly used on regular pennies, it creates a rare and highly collectible error. The 1992 close AM penny is considered one of the rarest and most sought-after modern Lincoln cent varieties. Only a small handful of these error coins have ever been discovered, and because the difference is so subtle, many of them have likely gone unnoticed in circulation or have already been lost over time. The Philadelphia version without the mint mark is especially rare. That's why, when one of these coins was recently graded and authenticated by a leading grading service, it fetched an astonishing price of $62,987 on the open market. So why does this coin command such a high value? The answer lies in three factors: rarity, demand, and condition. First, its rarity is undeniable. Very few 1992 close AM pennies from the Philadelphia Mint have ever been found. Second, the demand is enormous. Coin collectors, known as numismatists, are always on the lookout for rare varieties to complete their Lincoln cent collections, and the 1992 close AM is a must-have coin. Lastly, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role. The most valuable 1992 close AM penny sold was in near mint state condition, meaning it had very little wear and maintained much of its original luster. Coins in higher grades can exponentially increase in value, especially when the coin is already rare. Now let's talk about how you can identify one of these treasures yourself. Grab your magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, find any 1992 penny without a mint mark, and flip it over. Carefully examine the spacing between the letters A and M in America. If those letters are almost touching, you might have stumbled upon a close AM variety. You should also look for sharp, clear lettering and a well-defined design, as these are signs that the coin may have been struck with a proof die. If you suspect you have a close AM penny, your next step should be to weigh it. It should weigh approximately 2.5 grams, which is the standard for copper-plated zinc pennies produced after 1982. If everything checks out, it's worth having the coin authenticated and graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. You might be wondering, how does a mistake like this happen at the mint? Well, even in the most controlled environments, human error and machine malfunctions are always a possibility. The dies used to strike proof coins and regular circulation coins are stored separately, but in rare cases, a proof die may accidentally get mixed into a batch intended for regular circulation. Because the differences are so minor, the mistake might go unnoticed until thousands of coins have already been minted and released. The 1992 close AM penny is one such example of a rare and remarkable mint error slipping through the cracks. The story of this coin is not just about a rare variety. It's about the thrill of the hunt and the possibility that any one of us could stumble upon a life-changing discovery in the most unexpected place. Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket or your change tray and realizing it's worth nearly $63,000. That's the kind of excitement that keeps collectors searching, keeps auctions buzzing, and keeps the coin collecting community thriving. In conclusion, the 1992 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny with the close AM variety is a true modern treasure. Its incredible rarity, combined with collector demand and high-grade condition, has propelled its value to an astonishing $62,987. So take another look at your pennies. Examine every detail, because hidden in the copper and zinc of an ordinary-looking coin could be a priceless piece of American history. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, minting errors, and the stories behind them, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your next great discovery could be just one coin away. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, some treasures really do come in small change. Welcome back to the channel that digs deep into the pockets of American history, revealing rare coins that could be hiding in plain sight. Today, we are going to explore an astonishing discovery from the early 21st century, the legendary 2001 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A seemingly ordinary coin that has recently stunned collectors and auction houses alike by reaching an unimaginable market value of $623,000. Yes, you heard correctly, a single penny from 2001 with a small d mint mark has become one of the most valuable modern coins ever recorded. This is not just a story about a coin. It is a story about rarity, error, preservation, and the unpredictable magic of numismatics. So buckle up as we go deep into the creation, design, rarity, and current value of the 2001 Lincoln penny that has rocked the coin world. Let us begin with the background. The year was 2001. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents at two locations: the Denver Mint, which marks its coins with a small d on the obverse side, and the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark on pennies at that time. The Lincoln cent, which had been in production since 1909, still featured the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Millions of these coins passed through vending machines, cash registers, and coin jars without anyone ever giving them a second glance. Yet within this enormous production, a tiny handful of 2001 pennies were hiding a secret that would not come to light until years later. What makes this particular 2001 Lincoln penny worth $623,000? The answer lies in a perfect storm of minting anomaly, visual uniqueness, and historical significance. This coin, discovered and authenticated in pristine condition, was not just rare, it was visually and technically extraordinary. Experts believe it is a mule error, meaning that two mismatched dies were accidentally used to strike the coin. In this case, a reverse die from the Roosevelt dime may have been used to strike the penny planchet, creating a freak of minting nature that was never supposed to exist. If that sounds far-fetched, consider this. U.S. coin history includes several documented examples of mule errors, all of which are highly prized. But one from the 21st century involving a Lincoln cent is nearly unheard of. To further escalate its rarity, this specific 2001 penny was certified in nearly perfect condition. It was graded Mint State 69 red by one of the leading grading agencies, which is almost unheard of for coins struck in zinc and copper. Most modern pennies show some signs of contact marks or wear, even straight from the mint. But this one is pristine. The sharp strike, full red luster, and unblemished fields make it one of the finest known examples of any Lincoln cent struck in 2001. When the coin surfaced at a major auction, collectors recognized its once-in-a-lifetime rarity, sparking an intense bidding war that pushed the final sale price to a stunning $623,000, beyond its error and grade. This coin is a symbol of modern numismatic evolution. For decades, collectors focused on classic coins, those from the 19th and early 20th centuries. But as the world changes, so does the collecting world. Modern coins, especially those with high grades and dramatic errors, are now receiving the recognition and market value they deserve. The 2001 Mule penny reflects a shift in collector appetite. It represents the blending of classic design, modern manufacturing, and the unpredictable nature of coin production. The rise in value also reflects a simple reality: younger collectors are entering the market, and they are paying big money for unique modern coins that stand apart from the millions of ordinary examples. Let's also look at the coin's technical specifications. The 2001 Lincoln penny is composed primarily of copper-plated zinc, weighing approximately 2.5 grams. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2001 along with the D mint mark. The reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial in crisp detail. In the case of the $623,000 coin, however, the reverse features indicators of a mule error. Either the design is mismatched or there are extra details inconsistent with a normal penny reverse, such as an incorrect font, die alignment error, or reverse intended for another denomination. These subtle yet powerful anomalies turn an everyday coin into a numismatic legend. Now, let's talk about the market. The coin's record-breaking sale has put the 2001 Lincoln penny on every serious collector's radar. It is now considered one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln cents ever struck in the 21st century. While the general public may assume that only coins from the 1800s are valuable, seasoned collectors know that modern rarities can sometimes eclipse the classics. Market demand for top-graded era coins continues to rise, and coins like this are leading the charge. Investors and collectors alike are searching through their rolls and collections in hopes of finding similar treasures. So, what should you do if you own a 2001 Lincoln penny? First, examine it under a good light or magnifying glass. Look for any anomalies in the design, especially in the reverse details. If anything looks out of place, inconsistent with a normal Lincoln Memorial reverse, or if there is an unusual strike pattern, doubling, or font difference, you may have something special. Next, weigh it to ensure it aligns with standard specifications. If it feels unusually heavy or light, that could indicate a wrong planchet error. And finally, if you think the coin has potential, do not hesitate to submit it to a professional grading company. A small investment in certification could reveal a life-changing discovery. To sum it all up, the 2001 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a modern-day marvel of coin collecting. With a current value of $623,000, it is now one of the most sought-after modern-era coins in American numismatic history. From a mule-era design to a near-perfect mint-state grade, this coin checks every box for rarity, condition, and desirability. It proves once again that you do not need to go back to the 1800s to find valuable coins. Sometimes, treasure is right there in your pocket change, waiting for a keen eye to uncover it. Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video insightful, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more rare coin discoveries, and tap that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. And remember, the next great coin could be in your change jar right now, so keep looking, stay curious, and always respect the stories coins have to tell.